Hello everyone, welcome back to another director ranking here. Today we're here with Andrei Tarkovsky. You know, obviously the famous Russian director. Never made a bad movie. You know, visually he's up there with Kubrick, and they're kind of in a league of their own in terms of visuals. You know, Fellini up there too, but his movies aren't for everyone. Tarkovsky. But you can't say they're not, you know, like artistic, you know, masterpieces. Now, his two highest rated films, I'm actually down on. So when we get to those, Ivan's Childhood. Honestly, Ivan's Childhood is a great movie especially for a debut. You know, it's extremely well made. During World War II, a 12-year-old boy Ivan works as a spy on the Eastern Front. Then he has to cross the German lines. It's pretty intense, and a lot of Tarkovsky's movies run on long. This one's 95 minutes. It's short and sweet, and I definitely recommend it for people trying to get into Tarkovsky. Andrei Rublev. Now, this is one of the two that people I've heard say is his best. It's gonna be in the Met. You know, everyone says this is a 5-star movie. This is the best movie ever. Best movie ever. Best movie ever. This movie is very, very boring. I will tell you that. 205 minutes. That's way too long for this movie. It doesn't justify that. And visually, there's a lot of great shots, but you could say that about any Tarkovsky movie. Doesn't make it interesting. It is just a dull movie. Dull film. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'll never watch it again. Well, no, I'll give it one more try. But, I mean, it is not fun to sit through. I respect the craft, but that doesn't mean I enjoy the movie at all. And this is my ranking. Solaris. Definitely in the God tier for me. You know, he made it. It's kind of a statement against 2001. Now, I don't think it's anywhere near 2001. I mean, it's kind of a joke compared to 2001. But it is a pretty cool movie that explores this guy who goes to space, and then there's like a girl pops up that's only in his mind or something, and there's like, I don't know, there are some deeper meanings, and visually it's very stunning. His first color film. A lot of great character stuff too, so it's an awesome movie. It's a masterpiece. But come on, if you say it's as good as 2001, you're kidding yourself. Mirror, for me, Tarkovsky's best. First of all, visually, this is my favorite from Tarkovsky. The way he's just a master at everything in terms of color, in terms of just the way people stand and the composition of the people. I mean, it's awesome. A dying man in his 40s recalls his childhood, his mother, the war, and personal moments that tell and juxtapose pivotal moments in Soviet history with daily life. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is his only 5-star film. And maybe a lot of people would argue against me for that. Well, not against that this is 5-star, but that I don't have everything else is 5-star. But this is my tastes, and for me, Mirror is his best. Stalker. Now, everyone, this is his most common. It got ranked. Okay, there's this site I like to read called the Cinema Archives. Stalker got ranked number 9 in there, right? So I was so excited to watch this movie. 3 hours. I like long movies for the most. Yeah, for the most part, I love long movies. It probably the most disappointing film of all time. It just is a super slow and long build-up, which is fine, with the worst possible payoff of all time. And visually, I love what it does, but for me, it's going to be another meh. Not only is it boring, but that could have been justified with correct payoff. There was no payoff. There was nothing. I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but no, I will, because the movie spoils itself. Near a gray and unnamed city is the Zone, a place guarded by barbed wire and soldiers, and where the normal laws of physics are victim to frequent anomalies. A stalker guides two men into the Zone, specifically to an area in which deep-seated desires are granted. Now, this is probably the best plot of a movie ever. It's awesome. But what he does with it, they never... I mean, the whole point of the movie is to go into this place, and when they get there, they just... One guy has a bomb, and he's like, okay, I'm going to blow it up. And the guy's like, no. And then they sit there for 7 minutes. He just lingers on him for like 7 minutes. And then we see him back home. And then the last shot of the movie is like his daughter now has like magical powers. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That's what I wait. This 3-hour film that builds up very, 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 very slowly. That's what I waited to see. No. No. This film sucks. Well, it doesn't... You know... Visually the film is, you know, pretty astounding. But in terms of what it does, it's just complete boredom. I can't recommend Stalker to anyone. I actually recommend avoid these two. Please avoid these two for your own sanity. Nostalgia. Here we go. Another true film. This is going to be in the great tier for me. It's another classic. And this is about like a poet and his dreams, and visually again stunning. And I guess I'll lump Sacrifice in the great tier too, in between these two. You know, I love the visuals of Tarkovsky, even though some of his movies are very slow. Most of his movies are very slow, pretty dull, but visually really appealing. That's what I like most about Tarkovsky. If I ever made a movie, I would try to just copy what Tarkovsky does, because he doesn't have a true bad movie. Now, I talked negatively about these two, his two masterpieces per se, that other people consider. I consider dull, but I can't say they're messes. They're not train wrecks. I mean, they're perfectly crafted from his vision. I just didn't like his vision, so I don't know. I know there's some hot takes with Stalker and Andrei Rublev, but I mean, I just don't get them. Alright, I mean, I get the movie. I actually got the point of Stalker. Like, it's about like child imagination and the three characters combining. Like, it didn't go over my head. I just didn't like what went in my head. I don't know. But next, John Ford, 90 films we're gonna rank, which is gonna be it's gonna be torture for me because I'm not even a John Ford fan.